Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. Detroit Tiger fans know him as number 23. Slugger Willie Horton debuted for the team 16 years after Jackie Robinson broke racial barriers in baseball. Horton was a four-time All-Star, and he's one of a handful of players to have his number retired by the Tigers. His legacy is evident everywhere here in Detroit. A statue of his likeness stands in Comerica Park, and the baseball and softball fields at his alma mater, Northwestern High School, are named after him. And now the Detroit Police Athletic League is naming its new sports field the Willie Horton Field of Dreams. It's located at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, the spot where Horton helped the Tigers bring home the 1968 World Series championship, and it's the place where he spent much of his time during 14 seasons with the team. I'm pleased to have Willie Horton here as my guest today. Welcome to American Black Journal.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have to say, as a kid growing up here in the 1970s, of course, for me, the Tigers were synonymous with Willie Horton, right? There were no other players as far as I was concerned when I was a young kid. I think that's true of a lot of African-American kids who grew up at that time. Let's go back to 1961, though, which was the first year that you say you went to Lakeland to be...
First year, go back, I think about Jake Wood.
Yeah.
My dad let me skip school to see him play in 1961, I think April the 11th. And I thought I was signed with the other team, but that day I got ready to sign the end of the summer. We were going down to Trumbull. I was raised up in the project. And I asked Papa, I said, where are we going this way? He said, well, you know, I think you don't have to stay. You know, I think I'm keep you here. Maybe you can make a difference. Other
keep
people.
you here in Detroit.
Yeah, him and Judge Keefe.
Right.
Judge Keefe, you know, I've been knowing him since I was 13. And my dad put me in his hand, and my mother. And he taught me things between 13 and 14, experience that. I don't think I could have got anywhere, but just being with him in and out of the courtroom. I met judges, I met lawyers, I met presidents and Dr. King. But I'm just blessed. But that field that we was talking about is, it was a flashback because it's over in my neighborhood.
Right. And talk about, so you go to Lakeland for spring training.
Exactly.
This is the early 1960s in the South. Really different time than now. Talk about what that was.
Well, you know, my first trip out from Florida, that I would experience what Mother Park experienced, but in Tampa, the bus was full anyway. I went to the back, but when I got off the bus in Lakeland and get in a cab, yellow cab, and we had yellow and checker cab here, and he said, I can't take it. And I thought they were playing a joke on me. You know, how you hear about, they play jokes on rookies when they wait from school, when you go to college. And I said, well, give me my duffel bag, I'll walk. And I think it's about 5 or 6 miles. And I look back in life on the best walk I had in my life, because it took me, I lived my life way beyond the field. I was fortunate. From that walk, I met Bob Hope, been overseas with him several times, and on my own several other times, still involved with the military. And then in the community, I got involved with community groups, and I went back down to Lakeland, helped integrate with Pick and Poke Theater. Got involved in integration in the school system, and Lakeland just like Detroit to me. But that walk started all, and I think that walk brought me right when they designate the field in my name. It started back in 1961 with the people that I met through Judge Keefe.
That first season, as you point out, Jake Wood was the first African-American
to come through our organization.
To come through the Tigers organization. What was it like then with the organization? I mean...
well, it was tough. You know, it was just what it is. I was blessed that way I was raised. I come from a very large family. It was 21 of us in our family, younger, but my parents always went out and still helped others. My dad worked 2 or 3 jobs to help us. But I think it started there. But you go back, when I experienced that, I couldn't eat with the players. I couldn't sleep with them at the beginning. But it took me, people like Mickey Stanley, one of my closest teammates through the years, a white kid from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He kind of helped me, got involved, getting involved in integration work and getting involved to help fight the cause. Because he didn't understand why we couldn't be together. We play together, but that's the only thing on the field. But at even time we can do things. But it took me, and I got involved with him, and I got involved with things in Lakeland. And I remember my first trip in Lakeland, going to Duluth, Minnesota, we had to ride a bus all the way to Duluth. And the older guys had to take turn to drive the bus.
Driving it?
Yeah, because they wouldn't let the black players stay in hotels. And from things like that help you get involved. But I have a great life experience, like I said, Mother Park. I talks about her very a lot. because I'm fortunate to have a permanent day in Michigan behind there.
Yeah,
It's 4-person in the state have that honor, and I'm the 4th person at Mother Park, just from that walk.
Right, right. The first season, talk about that first time you get up to bat in the major leagues.
Well,
it's intimidating, obviously, but what are you thinking about?
Well, you know, when I got to the big league, I came from AA ball. I thought you had to go back to AAA ball, and actually, I thought the manager was playing a joke on me. I went back to the ballpark the next day, and they had to get me out and met the team in Washington, D.C. the next day. And before I got on the bench, I got to about the 5th inning, and Charlie Justin asked him, "Can you hit?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Go and hit," just like that. And I think, and I took that as a lesson in my life. When you relax and enjoy life, you make things happen.
It just happens.
And I went up and got a base hit to tie the game up. And then we come back home, and Detroit, I'm going to see all my high school buddies and stuff like that. And our first day in Tiger State, and that I was supposed to have been on the bench. I'm down in the bullpen. Well, I wasn't supposed to be down there, but all my high school buddies down there.
I see.
So I'm down there talking
So
to
you're
them.
talking to them
And I didn't know what inning the game is all about. They said they looking for you to pinch hit. It was in the 9th inning. And I'm thinking about if I go on the field, go to the dugout, they could see me. So I went over the stand, went through the stand, and went through the tunnel, came up. And one of the guys that my dad always talked about, Robbie Robinson, which was a great Hall of Fame from Michigan, went to Michigan State, a very respected man that my dad always talked about. And I didn't know who was pitching. And I hit a home run and tied the game up.
Yeah.
In the 9th inning, they told me who it was. I almost vomited, fell over, and I got him to sign the ball. But it's something that you love doing. And I took things like that, because you got to keep the little boy in you, and you have to have the experience. And when you have the little boy in you, your skills, your learning skills keep growing.
Yeah.
And but through the channels of people I've been involved in, thanks to Judge Keefe and a lot of people that I go back in life, I think about when I started working with the police department, with PAL, and et cetera. I think that Coma Young, I think the first car dealership was on Dexter, Mr. Davis, and Dig. So all of them people is part of Willie Horton life, and I think I proclaimed that so I can, what I'm doing, just giving back to the community what they gave to me.
Yeah. As we said in the open, you graduated from Northwestern High School. You said you grew up in the projects, Jeffers Projects. Talk about what Detroit was like when you were a little kid.
Well, you didn't think about it. We just, at the time, you had just many white people in the project. We had black. We had a lot of Kent Cochran. He was going to Wayne State. He was living in the project at the time. But we was all together, and that's something that I think that we miss in life. And I'm doing something in Florida now. A program I'm doing is based on what I've seen in my time with the community. Churches and the community was your community, and then we lost that. And we, for some reason, all the churches here and filtered down in the school, we lost that. And I said, but if we can just start getting that back together, we'll get our community back. You know, to me, that's what I learned about the project. You know, we learn to do things together. We learn how to pick. You know, project was very clean. We know how to cut grass. We know how to pick next door neighbor on the streets, the can field, to see a can on somebody's lawn, we pick it up. So we learn how to take care of our own. I think there's something where we kind of missing the boat in life. People say, well, we don't have that, but why we don't have it? Yeah. Just look at the past, look what you got. Why did it get like that? And I take that from my learning from people I just mentioned that taught me them things. It don't hurt me to open the door for an older lady or a young lady, et cetera. But that's what we and my wife and we try to pass down through our children. You know, and we taught them how to police each other.
Yeah. Talk about that year, that special year, 68.
That's
a year after the disturbances here in Detroit. So I feel like that win meant something different because of what had happened the year
it started
before.
in 67 riots. And in 68, with newspapers on the strike, people don't realize it.
Right.
All we had then, it was Ernie Harwell, great voice. But I seen white and black people came together as family in the ballpark, and I think we did that as winning. I seen people start hugging each other in the stand and seeing more black and white people together. We brought the town back together. And I tell people that all the time. One thing about our sports, not only baseball, this whole basketball, football, look like when we have a problem, it looks like our people come together. It always come together through sports to make turn our city, like what's going on now in our city, seeing it turn around. And every time we have a problem, people, they kind of nest together. And I think in 6 days, what it did for me personally, that, you know, people still recognize me. You know, I think about all the great Hall of Famers. Ernie Banks, such people like him, never played in the World Series.
Right.
People don't realize it.
Right.
So he's fortunate. When you play in the World Series, you're blessed.
Right.
It's something that nobody can take from you. And I think about all the coaches I had in my life, my little league coach, my high school coach, they all a part of your makeup. And when you win something like that, you represent that. I never.
You're standing on all of their shoulders.
I never,
right?
and I think it came from people that I was around in life through Judge Keefe, taught me where, yes, I thank God every day for giving me all the ability, but I thank and praise Him for putting people around me that help mold me. And you can't forget that. You don't make it all by yourself.
Right. So they've named the field at Michigan and Trumbull the Willie Horton Field of Dreams, but you also have been involved with PAL.
Oh, many years.
For a really long time.
Many years. Mayor Young recruited me through Charlie Pringman years ago, and I think he got a night train lane. He recruited him from the mayor over in Chicago. But I came back and I got totally involved with Ford Motor Company, and we started turning PAL around. We went from 9,000 to 22,000 kids program. Actually, I was involved helping in all the bylaws of National PAL and through the country, and we helped kind of develop Pennsylvania, Philadelphia PAL, and New York.
Yeah.
But I learned about PAL. We seen family come together. That's the key. You got to get families back with the kids. And we had a program we started, and I challenged parents. You know, can I get 5 hours of your time each week that you can learn what your kid doing?
Right.
And we came, and from that, we at the time, thanks to Bob Rui at Ford Motor Company, we developed a career development program through education. PAL is more than just a ball in the
Right.
bag.
It's not just
Yes, and so we talk about something beyond the field in college, et cetera. Everybody ain't gonna play sports.
Right.
But you can have a productive life, a quality human being.
Yeah. And that life beyond the field for you has been very rich.
Well, I tell you, I'm thankful to Mr. Illich and getting me back involved many years ago and things that he got me back involved in baseball. But the important thing, I thank him, he got me back with the people.
Yeah.
You know, people have been my life. I played my whole career with the people, and I'm very fortunate. I've been overseas many times. I just let people became part of my life, and that's when I keep talking about that walk.
Yeah, right, that walk.
Yeah, and you know, in Fort Bennett, you know, they got a internal flame on the state of Michigan flag, and they built at this $1 million museum. They built out in Fort Bennett, a Willie Horton representing the state of Michigan. I'm just, but that's what this life gave me, and I had a good walk.
Yeah. When you still go to Lakeland, right?
Oh, I go there. This is my 55th year this year.
What do you do down there now?
Well, you know, I still work with, like I said, Mr.
Tigers,
Illich,
right?
and I go down there, and right now I'm special assistant to the executive vice president, Al. But we have a good family staff he got together, and first with Dave Nebraska was here, and at the time I came for Dave and got here, and we kind of turned that organization around. But what I see now and what's going on with Al and his staff, and you see something for many years to come good in this city for baseball.
Yeah.
But we got close-knit working relationship internal upstairs.
Yeah.
And I'm just so proud and thank that Mr. Dillon and his family got me back involved.
Yeah. If you had to compare a current Tiger to Willie Horton, who would it be? Who's most like?
Well, it's hard to compare what a person can do.
Yeah.
But as a person, a human being with the heart and care, I look at Cabrera. He had the love and heart and care. And then I look at we had Troy Hunter, Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
He got that. When you sit down and talk to these guys, they don't talk about themselves. They talk about people in life. And as I look across the league, we just got this young man up and with us. I met his dad and mom, and his brother played baseball. They part of not only playing baseball, they part of people. And I think them 4 or 5 people I named, I look at them as the heart that I have in life.
Yeah. All right. Willie Horton, obviously great to have you here. And
Oh,
congratulations on that great honor.
Thank you. Blessing to be here.